Hi, this is Evelina and I am going to talk today about data engineer and who are they, what do they do, and what are responsibilities that you would encounter as a data engineer. And actually, I am a data engineer slash software engineer because I switch from one task to another task, but I kind of wanted to go in and say what would I do as a data engineer at my job, and it's kind of cool. So 4 things that I want to cover is the creation, transportation, processing, data quality slash persistence, or I guess persistence can be its own thing too. So 5 things, but I'll say 4 things because 4 as a number is better. First point is data creation, and a good example would be, let's say you produce data when you're using Google Maps. You're producing your location, and also you're able to see the velocity that you're going in. You create data points, right? You, as a human, you create a point where you are and a point how fast you're going. So a data engineer could create data by taking 2 points, let's say a time of a day and velocity that you're going, and then create another point which is, hey, this person is going at 45 miles per hour at 9 a.m. probably driving to work. And then if you have a velocity of, I don't know, 2 miles per hour at like 7 p.m. probably jogging or probably walking around. So you can create a data point with data that exists. You might as well create it without data that does not exist, but it's kind of cool that you're able to create some data. The thing that I do at work as a data creation is we take the log files that we get from Cyber and we timestamp it. Thus, we are creating an ingest timestamp on our logs, kind of saying, okay, this is when it actually came out. Because if you think about it, logs are collected all over the world. Let's put it this way, logs are collected all over the world, and you get the logs in a weird format which is like UTC, GMT, plus minus 5, 10, and sometimes you just want to know how long did it take to get in our pipeline or in our, I guess, warehouse. And we're able to take that part of data that, hey, this is a log data, and create another field which is ingestion time. 2 is transportation. That means getting your data from point A to B. And an example would be is if your company or somewhere you have like a huge warehouse of data, you would like to do some analysis of it. So a data engineer would be able to take data from point A, a warehouse, to point B, like an S3 bucket on AWS, or some type of local remote machine. So being able to transport data is very important because you would need to make sure that the data gets there all the way and nothing is lost in the transit. What we have at work is we have a build pipeline from a lot of open source stacks like NiFi, Spark, Kafka, and what we did is we built a resilient pipeline that is able to take in a lot of messages in a day. 3 is the processing, which is one of the things that I really like about data engineering, is you're able to process data. And an example would be you have raw messages like logs, any type of logs that are kind of ugly and raw in their raw format. And what you would like to do, or what a data engineer would do, is they would write parsers that would be able to process that data and create a cleaner data. An example at my work would be we write parsers to take a bunch of cybersecurity logs that we get, and we process them, clean them up, put them in a POJO format, and able to enrich them as well in the process to make sure that we have more metadata about those logs. 4 is the data quality slash persistence. I'll go with the data quality. So a data quality is very important for data engineer because you never know if your data made it from point A to point B. You never know if you have a duplication in your pipeline and you're actually processing way more data than you're supposed to. And that's why an engineer makes sure whenever they build a pipeline, they're able to put monitoring to make sure that data made it safe. And let's say you also use the monitoring to make sure that if something is not coming through, you're alerted, and then you're able to respond and get that data flowing through the pipeline into where it needs to be. An example at work would be, we do have monitoring installed that checks if our data is coming in well, and we also have a bunch of processes that if there is a duplication, we dedupe it. At one point we had actually a very interesting problem where we were duplicating a lot of data in one region, and then we realized that one region has it twice as less and one region has twice as more. And we're like, it's probably somewhere in the pipeline where it's doing the work twice as much. And with the monitoring we were able to locate it and then get it out, and now we had an equal amount of data coming through. The persistence, I didn't talk about that. So as a data engineer, you also have to take care of persistence. That means either getting correct access to whatever infrastructure you have and being able to place data inside, and or persisting it in database. That's also a part of your job. I hope you learned something about what it is to be a data engineer, and if you did, that's awesome. I'm kind of happy, and I hope you kind of share that happiness with me and maybe give it a try, because it's kind of cool being a data engineer. And if not, and you are a data engineer, tell me what are your responsibilities, because I am obviously more of a pipeline data engineer, but there's a lot of other more that I am probably not aware of. But these are 5 responsibilities or tasks that I've seen between all the data engineers within different tasks within the company that I saw, but maybe you have something else. So if you do, share it. Okay, well, have a good rest of the day.